Let's start off with the NSE 20. We saw a gain once again up around 1%. Turnover slightly higher than yesterday as well. We've also got those third quarter financial results set to be released from the banks. What is driving markets today?
I think what is driving the market is the expectation of the third quarter result of the banking sector. We do expect an impressive performance by the banking sector in the Q3, which is mainly driving the stock market. And also we have seen a lot of uptake of securities in the industrial and allied, basically because of the good dividends they had announced.
It seems that the banks, of course, they recorded a profit during the first half of the year on the back of that recovery in the economy. They are widely expected to post even better earnings going forward. What is your expectation and how are you positioning yourself with some of these banks ahead of these numbers?
Yes, I think the second half of the year will be much better than the first half of the year. Therefore, taking a position at this moment will be very good because of the increased upside potential of the stock prices.
Which banks are you looking at this point in time, Bernard?
We see a lot of demand coming through on Cooperative Bank. We also see Barclays Bank, which had declined to a very appealing price, and therefore it has started going up. We're also looking at Stanchart. We still think that it has a very high price potential.
Looking at the central bank's movements lately and of course the auction today and this capping gains on the shilling, and I was talking about it a little earlier, the bank has been trying to ensure that the shilling does not appreciate too extensively against the euro and of course the dollar. How has this impacted trade, and of course how is this impacting investor sentiment?
I think at the moment fixed income traders are very cautious because of the incoming of the new rules and regulations of auctions. Therefore, they are slightly reluctant in coming in forcefully. But we think in as much as the CBK is coming in to buy the dollars, we still see demand from, we still see a lot of export, and therefore we should expect a lot of inflows, therefore also strengthening the local currency.
How are you positioning yourself when it comes to the agricultural sector, given the fact that one can expect a relatively stable currency if the central bank is going to be intervening to the extent that we have been seeing it over the last few sessions? Does this mean that it's a great opportunity to buy into some of these horticulture and, of course, any agricultural stocks as well?
Yes, case in point, we've seen Kakuzi performing very well, gaining trading after trading session. Therefore, I think even in the agricultural sector, as a result of the appreciating currency, we think there's going to be very good performance on the agricultural sector.
You mentioned that looking at the fixed income market, we have been seeing a lot of traders quite cautious. We have also been seeing a lot of the gains that we've been seeing coming through in the bond market. A lot of people rolling it over to the equity front as well. Do you expect this trend to continue? So in other words, we could be seeing more volumes coming through when it comes to the NSE 20?
Well, I expect to see a flight of funds from the fixed income market to the equities market as a result of the anticipated gains in the equities market. Therefore, we should expect to see a movement of funds from the fixed income market to the equities market.
Another point of good news today for most investors and of course for Kenya as well, consumer confidence rose in the third quarter. In fact, we saw it rise around 21 points to 136 in August from 115 in June and 120 in March. So things looking far better, and it seems that many are very optimistic about the economic prospects for the country. To what extent did the referendum that was held recently and of course that beginning of August have an impact on confidence in the country?
Yeah, I think generally there's an optimism of the economic performance in the country as the parliament begins implementing and passing through the various necessary legislation. And I think there has been a lot of media announcements with what the implementation of the new constitution pertains, and also how it is going to affect the local citizen. And we're seeing a lot of emphasis in trying to educate the mass about the implementation of the new constitution, and therefore the citizenry is getting acquainted with what it's all about. And that is creating a lot of optimism because people do expect that there will be resource distribution. People are going to be empowered in terms of people are going to be empowered economically.
Bernard, and lastly, just looking at the price war that has ensued with some of the telecoms companies in Kenya, we know that there's going to be a major shift in the pricing structure from November onwards. It seems that Safaricom has jumped on the bandwagon ahead of time. What is your view on this? And we know that the price war that has been playing out has also been one of those dampeners to the sentiment in the country.
Yeah, initially we had seen Safaricom coming through in trying to counter the war by Zain. We saw them initially reduce their calling rates, but now they've also reduced their tariffs on SMSs, and I think this will go to some extent to minimize the movement of subscribers from Safaricom to other networks, because that was the only thing that was remaining that was highly charged by Safaricom. So as a result of that move, I do expect them to maintain a number of subscribers.